Welcome to Nkanizatu, the pod that tells indigenous stories every day, the platform that tells you what's good and what's odd for young people and elderly alike in the areas of art, history, and culture preservation. And now your host, Rinah Kasongo.
Hi, hello, welcome to Nkanizatu, a podcast that seeks to tell indigenous stories every day. On this platform, we have authors, writers, producers, cultural enthusiasts, and experts, artists, you name it. I am Rinah Kasongo, and once more, I bring to you one of my favorite storytellers, might be another one of my favorite storytellers. I don't know about that, but it is very exciting to actually have this person on Nkanizatu. This is because it is not every day that you meet a female filmmaker. So this is a very special edition once again. Hi, Diana.
Hello, Rinah.
How are you doing today?
Good. Yeah,
Good.
great.
How's been the whole screening of Sotambe and your experience of all of that?
It's been good and exciting. We had to watch other movies too, which was good. We learned and made friends, which was good.
Nice. Is it your first time attending the Sotambe?
Yes, it is my first time.
Nice. Any highlight from it?
Apart from having fun, the red carpet, the movies, everything was cool. It was nice. Yeah.
Nice. So let's start with you, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of the day? Like generally, if you're back from Kopala, what is that favorite part of your day, or what is your most creative time of the day?
Say in the morning, and mostly when we're shooting. I feel like it works better in the morning, and I'm mostly organized in the morning. So mornings are good for me, to work. Yeah.
You would say a night person and things like that?
No. Morning works for me.
Okay. So when did you develop your passion for film? How did that start out?
Long story, actually. I wasn't so much into film, but in 2020, I met the person now who's my director, and we started talking about films. I got interested, started learning more. So the interest started 2020, late 2020. But then he started showing me things. I started learning, and now here we are.
Okay, I thought you would say that you started acting when you were young, like
I
all
know,
those
really.
theater performances.
Oh yeah. No,
in high school.
nah. Back then, I didn't even see myself doing films, acting, and what. But now that I've started, it's been like, why didn't I start earlier? That's how it's been.
And what was your first film to feature on?
Thick of Things. Though we are not yet. It's not yet out there, but that was my first. Yeah.
So you're an actress.
I am.
An actress, yeah?
Yes.
You're not saying you're full chest.
I am.
Okay.
Yes, I'm an actress, producer, and a lot more. Yes.
So now, because I understand that the Falling Short was screening at Sotambe, right?
Yeah.
How did that movie get to screen at Sotambe?
The time we were even shooting this whole thing, we were aiming at something like, okay, at this point, let's make something that is going to be seen to other people, not just ourselves. Because, when we make something and people are not so interested, so it becomes it draws you back. So the time we finished shooting this, we're just like, okay, the director was like, there's Sotambe Awards and what, and we sat and we're like, should we submit? We're kind of like, no, okay, let's wait for next year. And then we're just like, okay, this should be our first start. We should start from somewhere, whether good or bad, but let's start from somewhere. And we submitted. After some time, we got news that it was nominated, and that was so exciting.
Yeah.
We didn't expect that. We did not, and that's a big step for us. Looking at us being new, not yet out there, people haven't seen a lot of our works, so it was a great move for us, a big step. It was.
Also because you're from Ndola, right?
Yes, in Dola.
I understand Lusaka has more friends when it comes to these events. And
Yes, yes.
Ndola not so much.
Not so
How
much.
how has it been like having to produce films in dollars? And how easy has it been, or challenging or exciting?
I would borrow your words, challenging and hard, because, like you said, Lusaka is not like Ndola. People in Ndola are not yet acquainted with the issues of movies, going out to watch movies, having fun, and like that. But we are trying our level best to make it out there. Like, let's just do it. Let people know that this is what we are doing. We can also do what Lusaka people are doing. So we're just pushing everything. Once we have something, um, it's out there. Yes, we're forcing them to to watch.
Okay.
Yes.
And there's something about you being a part of I Am Lucy. Is that right? Is
Yes.
that your film?
It's mine. I'm the main character.
You're the main character.
I am Lucy myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. How did it get to you being a part of I Am Lucy?
So I wasn't even supposed to be part of the movie. Funny, but as we started going, I was like, I think I can do this better than anybody else. And by then, were shooting Thick of Things. So he called me and said, there's this movie that I have. I have a character for you. I wasn't supposed to be Lucy, but he was like, yeah, but when you come, you will see what I'm talking about. And then I went there, we looked at the script. Deep down, I knew I was going to be Lucy because it's fun. So going through the script, him telling me his ideas and everything, I was like, okay, yeah, let's start shooting. And then it was as simple as that. We started shooting the following day, and we're like, okay, let me be Lucy, and
You
yeah,
know,
great.
when you said you knew it were Lucy,
Yeah.
how do you get to identify a character and say, I think I can play this role? And also maybe help me understand what the character Lucy is about.
Okay, let me start with what Lucy is about. So Lucy, I Am Lucy, rather the movie is about three college students that are having fun. They are free. They are out of curfew. They are able to go out without anybody monitoring them. So they're having fun, stealing, like, yes, having fun like that. And then Lucy is one person who's bossy. Lucy controls everything. She calls the shots. And who wouldn't want to be a boss? I mean, so
It's
yeah.
more like bad girl vibes.
Bad girl vibes, yeah. Lucy like sends her friends to do stuff and she doesn't even do it. She says, "Man, I'm not." Do I look bad?
I don't know. But then it's just where sometimes people play a character because that is who they are, yeah?
Oh,
How
yeah.
do you differentiate that bad girl vibe and you just being who you are as Diana in the storytelling process?
Okay, it's all about what we want the viewers to see. So I would actually play different characters, um, depending on the role that I've been given and the script. So at some point it becomes hard because you're like, I can't do this. Oh my God, nah, I can't. But as time goes, you just have to go through it, practice a lot, and then you're like, okay, I can do this. But a lot of people wouldn't know that once they watch a movie, they'll be like, so this is the way you are. But initially, that's just a character that I was given. Yeah. But there are times where in the same movie where you have to be the character and yourself because you don't have to show it too much. Yes. You overdo it, it becomes so bad.
Okay.
Yes.
And is I'm Lucy already airing somewhere?
Not yet. We premiered it in Kitwe. Yeah, that was on the 2nd of September. We premiered it in Kitwe. And then for Ndola, we are premiering it tomorrow. So it's showing at Lowentha Theatre tomorrow in Ndola.
Which is the third.
The 30th of September, yeah.
Nice. I really like that you do so much. Like it's very interesting the bad girl vibes. How you are able to just differentiate yourself from, the character
Yeah.
and who you are as a person.
Oh, yeah.
That is very good of you because some people it's where you're an actress but you're acting because that's you. But then the skill of differentiating characters is
Oh,
something I find very interesting about you.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
let's get back to Falling Short.
Okay.
What role did you play on this film project?
The producer. I produced it.
You are a producer.
Yes.
What does that entail? Because I know there could be someone listening and they don't understand what a producer is like. Or we understand one of the bosses, but then what does that entail towards the film project?
One of the bosses and putting in a lot of work and funds. So, as producers, a lot of people would want to do that, but we have they have less information actually. So have to, like, when I am doing the producing thing, maybe let me say the falling shot, I have to look after everything that is happening, the set, make sure we have the same the right people for the right characters. You know, sometimes you'd want somebody to do a certain character role, but they're not just doing it. So that's what I do. I organize sets and I just make sure people have the right information out there. Yeah.
And how have you been learning how to do this?
Um, Let me say I've been on social media too much, and sometimes I had to make myself feel like I need a lot of things for me to learn. So sometimes I would watch a lot of things where people say this is what you're supposed to do, this is what you're supposed to do, and then I'm getting stuff from there. And mostly I would be on social media looking at, okay, what am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to reach out to? What am I supposed to do at this point? When it comes to the set, I'll be like, because they're looking up to me to say, what are we supposed to put here? Because most of the time I'm in charge of a lot. Like, I'll be doing this, doing that. So I have to make sure everything comes in place at that point. So I'll be all over social media to say, how is this supposed to be? How am I supposed to handle this? So yeah, that has helped a lot.
So does you being producer on Falling Short mean that you are also one of the people that pioneered the story? The inception of the story, how did that come about?
Well, okay, this is funny, but most of the times when we think of doing a movie, we just, like, you're on Facebook, right? Just scrolling through Facebook, and then you read something, like, you just see something happening, and then you're like, this is quite interesting. But for Falling Short, it was something that we saw happening. It's about schoolgirls and mostly peer pressure, see, being found with wrong people when they say they're going to corrupt your good morals. So we've seen it, and it's common for people that are going to school, like they're in grade 8, 10. Once you meet people that you haven't met before, you have that peer pressure to say, I have this, I need to have that, my friend is doing this, my friend is doing that. So for Falling Short, it was something that we've seen happening everywhere. But we have other, like, movies like Taizia that we did. That was just a story we go from Facebook, we were reading, and then we're like, this is funny, let's try to do it. It's a short movie actually. So we're like, yeah, but for Falling Short is something that we saw happening and is still happening. That's where it came from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's still happening, right? And then you have this film out. How has the movie helped to, highlight some of these issues happening, especially with the main character?
At some point, it's that thing where you are like, people are doing a movie and yet they're not realizing to say this is what they're going through, right? And then other people would just inbox to say, this is, I've been through this, and it helped, like, in a way where I didn't see it coming, but after, like, seeing this, I have that thing where I'm like, I can avoid this in some way. Yes. And for us, we are like, okay, it's encouraging because people are there, they are seeing what we're doing, and then they're learning. So we want to do more of reality than just stories. Yeah.
I want you to take me a little bit into the film. Like, what are some scenes that highlighted what we are seeing, especially because the movie talks about peer pressure among teenage girls, right?
Yes, yes.
What are some scenes that you can recall, say, this is what we did on this scene because we wanted to highlight this particular thing about our society?
Okay. Entirely the movie shows everything, but this is there's a scene where, like, there's the main character doesn't have a phone and the friends have phones. So at some point she's like, but why don't I have a phone and my friends do have? And the funny thing is, she was the person who was keeping the phones for her friends because they were not allowed where they're coming from.
Because it's a boarding school.
No, like, it wasn't actually a boarding school, but it's somewhere, like, we have strict homes where you're not supposed to have a phone.
I thought it was a boarding school.
No, it wasn't a boarding school, it's a day school. So you're coming from home where they've told you to say you're not supposed to have a phone at this age, maybe after you're done with secondary school, and then you have a phone. So what do? You keep it somewhere where it's safe. No one will find it. But so sometimes should be there trying to go online with the friend's phone. So we have issues like that where because you don't have a phone, you want to see what's out there. Yeah. And then there's this other scene where she meets this guy in a shop where the friends are shopping for jewelries and what, and then she gets kind of interested because this guy says, okay, you can look me up on Facebook, my username is this and that, and then she's now like, I don't have a phone, so what do I do? okay, let me just use my friend's phone, and then it starts from there. She's getting like the pressure. She every day she has to do this, every day she has to do that. So those are one of the big things that we have on the movie that are showing to say, okay, people go through a lot more, especially teenagers. They go through a lot of peer pressure. Just to be a teenager is a lot of work. Yeah.
And then because you're the producer, what do you have in mind for people that are relating to say these things are happening around us? What are you hoping people will feel once they see some of these things, scenes where you're highlighting what this girl is going through in terms of peer pressure? What do you want us to feel about it?
For starters, I want people to realize to say what they're about to do or doing is wrong. It's not easy to stop. When you start doing something, it's not easy to stop. So I'm hoping they reach out to someone who's going to help them to say, okay, the way you can stop this is this way. Because even people that are addicted to stuff, they need help from someone. They can't just stop on their own. So they can actually reach out, like they can go for counseling and what. But we want them to know to say, once you start seeing this is where it's leading you to. Yeah, that's just it.
Because there were a lot of teenagers involved in this film, and girls for that matter.
Girls, yeah.
What challenges did you experience being the producer of this project?
Girls. Well, it wasn't so challenging, but girls need a lot. So they'll be like, no, we need to wear this, maybe it'll look good. We need to start, what if we do this? Because, for guys, they'll just stick to the script. But for girls, they'll be like, what if I cried at this point? They're like, where do you want to cry at this point? And then it'll make more sense. But like the person trying to like add more, but it was fun because they were bringing out ideas and everything. But we had times where we're like, oh, okay, it's late. We have to shoot late, and girls have curfew. What are we going to do? Okay, we have to call let's call your guardians so that they know that this is what you're doing. And then for people that do not know that she is doing this, that was the hardest part. We had to shoot faster than their curfew so that they can actually go home early. So mostly time was that thing where we had an issue because we want scenes to be done in the night, but the girls have curfew. Yeah, we worked together.
To what extent did the parents and guardians of these teenagers?
They've been supportive to a point where they let her come again tomorrow. That's a youth support at this point. Like if they say no, you're not going there again, wouldn't be here. But they supported in a way. They were like, okay, fine, you can finish your projects, then but please mind on the time that we shoot and everything. Yeah, but they were very supportive and they share our content and everything. Yeah.
Okay, so I understand it was premiered in, was that May?
Yes, it was premiered in May.
How did that make you feel, having to bring so many people, I believe, into one room and watch your film? What was the feeling?
That was our first premiere, by the way. So we had a lot of things to do, to look out for. So we're like, what if the cinema is small? What are we going to do? We can't let people stand. And what? That was like lessons, a lot of lessons to us because it's something that we're doing for the first time. We had to watch a lot of movie premieres. But like, what happens? What are we going to do? Advertisement was the hardest because people haven't seen our content out yet, and then convincing them to come was kind of hard. We had to sponsor our adverts. We had to pay people to post for us. It was great and challenging at some point, but we actually made sure everything happened, and it happened. We had quite a good number. Yeah. It was good. People came, they loved what they saw, they're ready to support what we're having at the moment. So it's good. It was good.
Nice. So you're the producer again, right? You're kind of like owning the story.
Oh yeah.
Or rather leading the direction of this story. We see so many of these issues happening around our community, yeah? So now, as a producer, how did you build on, because you were talking about the research was from social media,
yeah.
How did you build on the story, like each script and things like that? Can you describe that process for me, like building on to making it not just relatable, but also creative and fun and projecting what is happening in our society?
Okay, on that, like mostly the teenagers we used, the girls we used, they're others are still in school. So at some point we had to get to talk to a lot of school-going kids, and we got information from them, like what happens if, how does this start, how does this person do this, how do you start doing what you're doing. And they really helped. They were like, okay, at some point this happens, that happens, somebody would just try to be your friend too much, you'd want to know what they're doing. And sometimes it's
So
when it
you
comes to
actually
girls.
interviewed girls that go through that.
Yes, we actually did. And me being a female as well, I was like, but I've seen this, so let me also add on to what I've gotten from these other girls. So we're just like, we want to make it so real. Want to make people see what really happens, not just us telling a story to say people should stop this, but having a real thing out there. Yeah. So that was the whole process.
And didn't you experience resistance? Because I'm just imagining, I'm this girl that, hello, I drink beer, I'm 14 years old, and then you're interviewing me about this. How was that like?
You know, at some point you're like, ain't you too young for this? Like, I'm trying to help you, but you can't tell them that because you need their help. So it was so hard. Mostly would use people that we already know, and then we have in the group as avant-garde we have teachers also there. So we're like, please help us with your kids. We want to talk to them, and they were so helpful. But we got people that were like, so you want to put my story out there because this is what I do. If people watch, they're going to know it's me. No, we are not using your name. We're not using anything that is related to you. We just want to know how this thing goes. And then people will be like, no, no. It's just like, you just, at some point, we're like, let's go to the streets. What are we going to do in the streets? We're just going to see school-going kids and call them and we'll ask them questions. But they were like, no, mommy says I shouldn't talk to strangers. So like, okay, fine, yeah. But it was challenging getting someone to sit down and tell you what happens. It was people refused. We're like,
I would refuse. Like, no, you come in and put my story on your film.
at some point, and I think I got to learn a lot of things there. Like, okay, there are people that would freely say something, and there are people that would just be like, I know. You convince them. You're like, okay, I'll come to your place. That's why I'm going to interview you. And the person is like, okay, talk to my mother, and that's the way it is. But it got me to a point where I had to like communicate with a lot of people. I had to be more social than I am. So it also helps. Like I got used to see, okay, I understand, but let me just convince you, please. And we did.
Okay, interesting. You're a female in the film industry, right? And it's
Yeah.
not every day that we see a lot of females take up the role of director and producer and things
Yeah.
like that. What challenges have you experienced? Or not just challenges, I know you've had a number of opportunities. What has this community becoming an industry done for you? That is the film sector.
You know, sometimes you'd want to think ahead, like, okay, in the next few months or the year to come, I would want to do this. But there are those pulling you down to say, you're a lady, you can't do this, they're going to take advantage of you. But in your heart, you already know to say, I already know to say, I'm going to overcome every challenge that comes, every temptation that comes. But people out there will just be like, nah, you're a female, you can't do better than men. But being with people that have been so close to me and they are actually encouraging me, it's been good. They've been like a lot of challenge. Everybody experiences challenges, so you were not going to be the first. So you have to be strong for that, and I am preparing, and I'm going to be strong for that because just starting up and coming this far, we've really tried, and I've really tried, and I'm hoping everything is going to go as planned, and I won't find a lot of challenges. Yeah.
Okay, so you would say so far you are capable of
I
have
am
been capable of
very much.
I can tell. I
Yeah.
can tell. But also, what opportunities have you come across so far? Just by virtue of you being female, that other people wouldn't probably get.
Well, there are some projects that normally, like in Indola, we don't have a lot of projects. But I remember there's this one time somebody called me to say, "Oh, I saw you in this movie. You produced it, and you're also in it." I was like, "What movie is that?" Teresa, "Oh, you've watched it, yes. And I would love you to help." I'm like, "Help? How do you want me to help?" And the person starts explaining, and they're like, okay, so we're from Lusaka and everything. So I was like, okay, this is big. But at that point, I couldn't actually go there. I couldn't be here because I had other things that I was doing. Yes, but I've heard people call to say, okay, we want you to be the main character. Or we want you to train the main characters. Yeah, just help them. and it's been there. So I'm hoping for more, and they'll find me free. Yes, because it's a lot of work. You're always working. You're always looking out for what is happening. You're always planning for the next project. So yeah, I'm just hoping I get to work with other people. Yeah.
During the casting process, the main character of Falling Short, she's very beautiful, by the way.
Thank you so much on
I
our
think
behalf.
she did her role justice. She did justice. to
She
that.
did.
Yeah. How did you identify that character for that film?
It wasn't so hard because we would have meetings and you just see how someone is acting. You'd be like, okay,
So you
and
went
then
for an audition.
no, really, we didn't do that. She's we had a meeting. This time we had a meeting. We were about to start shooting a certain movie, and then we had people come through. So this person was like, okay, I have this person, I have this person, I have this person, and they came. And the time we're having a meeting, we just see people the way they are behaving and what. So would not to say, okay, she's good. And mostly what we do for the members that are there just for like forever. Everybody has a movie, so we give you a movie and you're the main character. Do justice to the movie. It's yours. But for her, it was something we just saw to say should be good because at some point she's looking all innocent and what her speech looks like she doesn't want to talk and everything. Yeah, but for these others we knew to say you can't do this because you're loud. Like the other character would be like, because the other two characters are also in the movie I Am Lucy. So we knew to say this is what they are able to do. So you deserve to be here. The other person has to be here. But for the main character, we're just like, this would suit you. That's what you're doing.
So it was her first time being in a movie.
Yes, it was.
Wow, I thought she's a pro. Like she's been doing
No,
it
that
now.
was her first
But
one.
then also you being a producer again, how do you find it easy or difficult to handle people that haven't acted professionally before?
What becomes so hard would be her being in the script and not just telling me that this is what I'm saying. No, what? No. So sometimes it takes time to say, okay, let me meet you. We're just going to be the two of us so that you're not nervous to meet other people. So we'd sit down and be like, this is what you're supposed to do. A lot of rehearsals. And for me, I love to have rehearsals with the characters, mostly the main characters, because that's what people are looking out for. They'll be like, why is the main character doing this? But yeah. So it comes to a stage where you just have to take it personal to say, okay, I want to talk to you. Let's have a conversation. Let's rehearse. Because I know once we rehearse and everything, it's going to be better than what she was thinking. Because in her head, she has something like, okay, I can just do this and that. And you're like, no, the script says you do this, you do that. So let's follow the script. And mostly for people that are on camera for the first time, you'd actually emphasize on sticking to the script. Because there were times where she says something which is not in the script and she goes mute. Like, why are you not talking again? It's like, it's not there. Is it there? So I'm like, stick to the script, then we are good to go. Then on other projects, we can actually learn on how to bring in your own words. Yeah.
In the story, Falling Short, she experienced a number of things based on her decisions. She experienced a number of issues and whatnot. How does then this character begin to evolve into becoming a better person? Just briefly take us into the film itself. Like, how did she become an evolved person? Like changed so like the new generation goes.
Okay. So like the scene I talked about before, the time she started changing was the time she met the guy. Because she was like, no, my friends have boyfriends, they're going out, they do photo shoots, they go have fun and what. And then when she meets this person is one person who wants to be taking her out. But she has a mom who's kind of strict and trusts her. So what do? She continues conversating with this person. Okay, we're talking. Okay, let's go for a photo shoot. They go. And the interest is coming. So this is what people think. Yeah. So it started like that. And then as time goes, she got into a mess that she wasn't going to run away from. She broke the friend's phone because she was talking to the boyfriend. What is she going to do? The boyfriend cannot give her money because the boyfriend doesn't have. What does she do? She goes out there and looks for money. In the process of looking for money, she goes and just has bad ways and everything. She's sleeping with this person for money because she knew the friend was going to get on her neck. So she started changing like that because she had no choice. Like, okay, what am I going? I
And
can't
that's
tell
very
mom.
relatable, you know, as a lady, where certain unfortunate things happen,
Yeah.
you now begin to make decisions that you think are best for you.
Yeah, and when we are under pressure, bad decisions come. They're the best decisions to come. So at that point, she's just like, "What am I going to do? I cannot tell mom because she doesn't know the phones are in the house. So what do I do? Okay, let me go out. Let me just do what my friends do. But for her, you know, I don't know why life is like this, where you just do it for the first time and you're down. You go, yeah. So that she just had to do that because what was she going to do? So she had it changed, and when you start doing things for the first time, you know the interest comes in, and then off it goes like that. Now you're used. You have to do it every day and every day. Yeah,
It's a really relatable story.
it
Once again,
is.
I must say, I will keep on saying it. It's a very relatable story.
Thank you.
And this is what our society goes through every single time. A lot of girls are going through such, and even
Yeah.
men actually. You know,
They
people
do.
make decisions because they are thinking that is the best way of coping, and from the outsiders' view, they're thinking that is a bad child.
Yeah, like we don't want to know what is happening, so you end up just being judged and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So moving forward, then, how is this great relatable film going to? What is the distribution like for this whole film that you've done?
We're just hoping we have channels that are going to like it and start showing it. But at this point, we're just waiting for this event to be done, and then we can have other people have it too. Yes, so we're aiming at channels so that those people that haven't had chance to like watch it can have a chance to watch it.
By channels, you mean which platforms?
Like Zambezi Magic, also on 1Z and Crown TV, this Diamond TV, our local channels. Yeah, that would
Do you
be
see
good.
this story evolving into a series, maybe, or it will just remain as a feature film?
We thought about it, but we're like, if the response is going to be interesting, we would think of that, because most of the times the movies that we do, people will be like, so where's the part two? There's no part two. It's a
There's
show.
no part 3, part 10.
Yeah, but as the response is coming, as people are loving it, would have to do another one which is in the same line, falling short. So we're just hoping people love it. If what we expected happens, we would definitely do another
But
one.
then in your hoping, have you put in like strategic plans? Say, okay, this is how we see this evolving. Not really the series per se, but even just in your distribution.
We are doing quite a number of things, but very slow because people had to convince. So we would be like, okay, we have this movie. We'd talk to people like, we have this movie that we've done and would love you to show it. And what we got to a point where we just had to do that because we wanted the content to be seen. We wanted people to see it. So we're still doing that, and we have people that they are just like, okay, we want to see the projects, then we can talk further. Yeah.
Okay. Because you're based in Ndola, yeah?
Yeah.
How are the parents, educators, and people around you supported this film, which is beyond the film? I think it's more like it should be a local campaign or something.
Um, okay, on my part, I have like people that have been there sharing to say, okay, I want other people to see this, so let me keep sharing. And we had this thing where we had to show it in some schools because we wanted them to see because it was for them. So we did that, and this they helped. Parents were there like, oh, so this is what it's about. Okay, let me share. Let me. Okay, give me something. I go and show my kids at home. Okay, give me this. Let me show my class. Let me do this. Let me do. So it's been helpful. Like people have been. When you talk about falling short, somebody will be like, oh, the three girls. You're like, yeah, those. And people have heard because parents have been there showing their kids. Those that are not on social media, they've showed their kids, and those that are on social media, we keep tagging. They'll keep tagging us, and that's just the way it's going. Very good at the moment.
Nice. I really like what you're doing.
Thank you.
You should never. I know you won't stop. Based on the character I'm talking right now, I know you're not stopping anytime
I
soon.
am not stopping.
And, it's very commendable that you should continue just giving us these stories. You know, it's
Yeah.
what even this podcast is about. It's where we're projecting a narrative, a positive narrative of who we are as people. We tell our stories, the way
Yeah.
we're experiencing them in Dola, in Kitwe, in Chongola, Lusaka, and things like that. So it is really amazing what you're doing.
Thank you.
So then, how do you envision the Zambian film community industry in the next 5 years? How do you see it developing? Or what would you like to see about this film sector in Zambia in the next 5 years?
I would want people to pressure us to produce more movies. Like, it's out there. When we bring out something, people don't even have where to sit. Want people fighting for movies, channels showing everywhere. Like, okay, this is what, and not just Zambian channels and our local channels, no, but channels that are from other countries as well. Want them to see what we're capable of doing, because we've seen to say we can do better. Yeah, when you see something you're like, oh, this is good, but our projects are also good, so we can do better than this. This is what we are visioning our movies. We want them to be so big that even people from outside would be like, oh, we also relate. This is good. I saw your movie. It's nice, and what we just want that friendship with everywhere we go. So yeah, we want it to be so big.
I think that's ultimate support when you see people fighting in cinemas to watch it.
Yes,
Then you know that they are
You-
feeding.
they love it. Yes.
Okay. What is that one question you thought I was going to ask you, but I haven't asked you? And then what would be your response to that question you thought I was going to ask you, but I didn't ask you?
What would be that question? I'm going to ask everything. Okay. Maybe the question I kept thinking about was, how long did it take you to finish the project? I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
And the answer would be, it took us time, but we didn't take much time because we wanted it to finish early. Normally would take our time to do projects because we want them to be so good. Would sit down and watch it and be like, is this good enough? No, let's redo this. But for this one, it didn't take much time. It was for a month or two. We had a month or two. But then we had a story. We're just like, okay, I'm seeing this. I'm thinking about this. And then the director's like, oh, you've also thought about that. Yeah, and other people are like, yes, we've thought about that, but we didn't know how to go about it. Okay, let's start this. In the first month, we started organizing people. We're like, okay, you can do this, you can do that, you can do that. And then the next month, we were rounding up. We were done. And then we're also praying to say, this goes well. Let's try to premiere it. What are we going to do? And then we we're like, if we premiere it, are we going to have enough time to, because we didn't want it so far. So everything, I'd say everything, the premiering and everything worked like in months. We premiered, we shot, organized people, and premiered in months, which was, yeah.
Approximately how many months was that?
That should be less than 6 months. Yeah, because we wanted something to challenge us, to say, let's try to challenge ourselves. Can we do a movie in a short period? And then we were like, the director was like, yeah, we can. Just organize everything. And then that was the big job. I'm like, what are we going to do? We're going to get our characters. And then I just got for a meeting. Everybody showed up. And we're like, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing that. Show me what you got. We started, and the next week we were shooting. We started, and that was we actually loved it because we did it in the time that we thought we wouldn't do it, and we planned to do it. So, yeah, that was done in like less than six months.
Nice. Anything that you would like to say to this young girl that is wanting to be Lucy, or not Lucy, but an actress that can play a role like Lucy? What would you have to say to an aspiring filmmaker in general?
Oh, dear young child, don't stop. Sometimes you'd feel challenged when you see people doing something. It's a point where we're like, I've watched this lady, she's good, but I doubt if I can do that. Challenge yourself. When you challenge yourself to say, let me try this, then you're good to go. Because I also wasn't so good. I didn't start as a kid, like you said it. I didn't start as a kid. I'm already grown, and then I was just like, let's do this. And then even at home, my mom was surprised, like, this is what you do now. I'm like, yeah, I want to do this.
I like how you want your character so much. Like, yeah, even from your mom, you say, yeah, I do this.
Yes. No, like I got a lot of questions like, this is what you want to do. I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with this? And they're like, are you sure? Yeah. My sister was like, oh, so you're not doing film. I'm like, yes, I'm doing film and a lot more. So once you are determined to do something, don't look at what other people might say, what other people might, because being an actress, people will be like, there's nothing that you're going to be doing. People are going to be taking advantage of you. You just be doing this, and it will never be there, because people think when we have the characters that we have the Zuba and what, they're still going to be the Zubas and everything. You can never outshine them, but we're not here to like outshine somebody. We want to work together. So I was like, anyways, I can be the next Zuba. So let's see how this goes. So everybody else can be the next Zuba or the next Lucy, because what I'm doing at the moment is great, and I like it to say I love what I do and I'm comfortable doing it. And when it comes to Lucy, it gave me more potential. Like I can be this bold and confident about it. So it's every day comes with another challenge, comes with more confidence. So people that are out there that would want to do film and everything, be determined and be with people that are doing film, because you can't be at home and say I want to do film. Who's going to see you? So trying to interact with people that are doing movies, people that are doing what it starts from school, plays and everything. Yeah, so they can start from there, and we are available to work with such people.
Nice. And also, just to add on, I think it's also very important for people to have conviction towards the story.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to act something like I Am Lucy or whatever, you have to genuinely be passionate about that cause and what you have in mind for the view or what you want to
Yeah.
I think, and not just for the sake of I want to be an actress, but then there has to be conviction.
Yes, yes.
Which I think carry a lot. Because what you have is right, I Am Lucy and
Thank you.
and all these other things. And then you have been passionate about the stories. Right?
Yeah, I have. Like, Lucy just gives you that confidence. You know, Lucy is a great movie, very amazing, and this is the same thing we want people to see. Lucy is also relatable because people are being used, and then somebody just becomes a boss over you. How did you become a boss? And you're like, yeah, I call the shots, I'm the boss, and what? So we also want people to relate like that. We want people to see that, okay, this is what has been happening in colleges, because Lucy is now for students, yeah. But this is what has been happening and what. And Lucy is so confident, even though she's doing something wrong, she would be confident enough to tell you to say, yeah, so what? Yeah, so that's just the way it is. But it's a great movie, and we hope people are going to love it. Personally, I hope people would love it, and they will love it.
Definitely. Well, this is what Kanizaki does. We bring your favorite storytellers in for attention and their perspective in their creative process, and they tell us their narrative in their community. I've been sitting down here with Diana, who shares a beautiful story on just her role in all these films she's done, and also experiences from Dola, Kopala, WhatsApp, and things like that. It has been amazing. I have felt confident, just like this would feel confident in the film.
Yeah.
It just empowers you like that as a lady to say, I call the shots. Well, for the sake of this podcast, I have to end this conversation. But be sure to subscribe and like and review on our platforms, and stick with us here back again another time. My name is Rinah. I would like to so much appreciate Social Publishers for powering this podcast. It wouldn't be possible without Social Publishers. This is a company that is focused on promoting, producing, and marketing literature, Zambian and African. I forgot one thing. I am supposed to give you a notebook. I'm supposed to give you a Kanizaki branded notebook.
Wow.
Do this for every guest that comes.
Thank you. I'm going to brag that I was there. I have a notebook.
I hope you write some of the great stories in that.
I will. I love writing.
And on that note, we are done with this episode. Catch us again next time. Have a wonderful afternoon, evening, night, morning, whichever time. Goodbye.